You know what makes RimWorld even better? Mods. There's thousands of awesome mods made for RimWorld, and today I prepared 20 of them that you should totally use in 2024. From combat to buildings, from biomes to big overhauls, and lots of quality of life in between. You can find links to all of these mods in the description below, and if you watch until the end, there's gonna be a couple of bonus mods sprinkled in. But now, let's begin. First, let's improve your whole world with dinosaurs. Yes, biomes prehistoric overhauls all of the vanilla biomes, turning your planet into a true Jurassic World. Every biome is now full of beautiful and realistic prehistoric flora and fauna. Dinos will hunt you and you can hunt them right back, or tame them and ride them into battle, or use as a pack animal when you trade with other factions. But if you don't want to change the already existing biomes, then you should try more vanilla biomes. This mod adds more variety to the whole planet while keeping true to the original vanilla aesthetics. Have you ever wondered if it's possible to survive on a frigid iceberg floating on the ocean? How about building a cozy base on a beautiful alpine meadow? There are badlands to brave, oases to settle, and many more biomes that will make surviving on the rim truly a fresh experience once again. Moving on to more specific things, have you ever thought it's strange that you can just mine steel and plasteel veins in mountains instead of actually producing those from basic iron? Well, Expanded Materials mod adds iron, coal, copper, tin, lead, and a bunch of other exotic materials that you now need to combine to alloy steel, stainless steel, plasteel, and more, and use them to build your home. It adds more complexity and realism to RimWorld based building. And if you add stones and mortars submod, then you also get new types of stone and bricks to spruce up your colony. Now, how about a couple of quality of life mods? Bionic Icons is one of my favorite small QOL RimWorld mods because base game bionic boxes are just so bland and sameish, and I never know what is what just by looking at them. But with Bionic Icons, which by the way supports all kinds of other mods that add new prosthetics and bionics, you'll never again feel lost in your giant pile of organs you borrowed from the raiders, and will be able to neatly organize and color code your very own war crimes factory. Now, if you ever ran a big colony with many different ideologies and you struggled to convert new members because you didn't check that your priest is ready to use their convertibility, then this next mod is perfect for you. Abilities cooldown notification is a tiny yet essential QOL mod that does what it says on the cover. It will give you a neat notification every time your spiritual leader can cast one of their abilities again, so you can convert every colonist to one true faith in no time. Now, if you're like me, then you can never find the thing that you're looking for in your giant mess of a base, or spend ages zooming around the map to find a mature heal route to save your naked brutality survivor. But with Control F mod, you can just press Control F and a new window will pop up, allowing you to search for whatever you're looking for and then zoom right there. It's simply a must-have mod, which is not something you might think about this next mod, but hear me out. Designator shapes allow you to build, mine, and zone in various shapes, like circles, hexagons, basic rectangles, or lines, and it makes building aesthetically pleasing cities so much easier and faster. There's even a free-form option, although personally I am terrified of what I could paint with that. Last of the QOL mods on my list allows you to fix your poor quality furniture without having to completely destroy the piece in the first place. Improve this will trigger your builders to attempt to improve the quality of a building, using only a fraction of resources it would normally take to rebuild it from scratch, and hopefully use their highly augmented superhuman bodies to not botch the process again. Now, have you ever despaired at the quality of vanilla RimWorld melee combat? Pawns just standing there and twerking at each other until one falls over? Yeah, it's very anticlimactic if you're trying to recreate Braveheart, but with melee animation mod, you'll be eating good if you're a melee fan. It adds a variety of special animations and new melee mechanics that your colonists and enemies can use. From lassos to executions and duels, it all looks flashy and very edgy, but it makes melee combat so much more dynamic and a true joy to experience again. But what if you could also freeze your enemies in combat? Crypto Bionics add a whole set of new bionic limbs focused on the freezing cold of winter, so use them at your own risk if you live in Texas. These special bionic legs, arms, lungs, and more have special skills you can use, like Crypto Breath to freeze your enemies, Cryolyze to slow bleed out rate in your allies, or Crypto Jump to land a devastating blast of cryonic energy right in the middle of your enemies. So it's a perfect mod if you're trying to roleplay as a Glittertech Santa. And do you know where a Glittertech Santa lives? He lives in a Glittertech palace made with Glittertech force field walls. I mean, what kind of a Glittertech base are you building if you're not including walls made of pure sci-fi energy? They are pretty expensive to build, but when it comes comes to cool spacer tech, it's 100% worth it. But excuse me, streamer, you might say, how would I ever power all of these force field walls? Well, I'm glad you asked, Billy, because I've got just the mod for you. Bioreactor allows you to take your war crimes to the next level and use living things as fuel for your colony. Stick them into a tube full of amniotic fluid, then stuff them full of food, and the bigger they are, the more power they'll provide for you. And for all of you who consider graphics made in 2018 ancient history, there's also a beautiful retexture mod that brings Bioreactor to the new decade. Now let's take a look at a couple more eccentric additions for your rimming addiction. Eccentric Tech is a series of mods that adds new high-tech research, new high-tech materials, new late-game guns that improve on the base game charge weaponry, fusion power to keep your colony up and running, and high-tech defense grid to keep it safe. There are also advanced shield belts to protect your colonists in the heat of battle, and naturally there are cosmetic modifications and angel apparel to make your pawns look exactly like your favorite anime waifus. But if you prefer your anime waifus in a more bulky power armor, wielding a crazy array of glitter tech weaponry, then you should check out Obsidia expansion. The Obsidian Empire brings a whole set of new and cool stuff to the Rim. Massive amount of new weapons and armor, new flora and fauna, new mechs, resources, factions, and a lot of new endgame goodies for you to research. There are also separate xenotype mods you can add, like moths, arachnids, and turtle peoples who might come and kill you, but trust me, they'll do it in style. But if style is not your main priority when defending your own base, then the monstrous servants you can craft with this next mod will be right down your filthy, dark, blood-spattered alley. Based on the Amnesia games, RimWorld The Dark Descent descends down into the realm of war crimes in a new, disgusting way. It allows you to use corpses of your fallen enemies to graft your servants who come in a variety of different builds. Some can fight, others will do basic work, and some even more advanced tasks, provided you keep their eternal hunger satiated and train them to obey their master. Alas, if you stuff your colony full of horrid undead slaves, don't be surprised if you get hunted down by good old witch hunters. Hunter Fate Xenotype adds, you guessed it, a new extremely powerful xenotype, clad in witch hunter armor and wielding a blunderbuss that will punish you severely if you piss them off. The mod adds a lot of new weapons and apparel, drugs, items, and research, and if you manage to get yourself a Hunter Phage colonist, then you can truly conquer the world. But good luck with that if you're against Crawltech Industries. This is a faction designed to fight mechs, and for a good reason, because the mod adds a whole slew of new extremely powerful mech variants for you to fight and gestate. It also adds a ton of very badass anti-mech armor and weaponry, a new faction, new storyteller with unique incidents, new high-tech items to craft and buildings to build, a hidden quest you can pursue, and generally a lot of pain and sorrow as you'll watch your colony burn and the mechanoids dance on your ruined dreams. But you know what I dream of? My subscribers. So if you also want to be part of my weird dreams, subscribe now. No, I hear it. I hear how this sounds. Let's just move on. And enough of this death and distraction. Let's take a look at some more cozy mods to make your colony beautiful, which you can totally do with natural paths. These are free and aesthetically pleasing paths perfect for your city. Connect the homes of your colonists with sand or dirt paths, or grab natural farms and natural lakes submods that will allow you to spruce up your fields with paths and streams, or dig your own lakes for that cozy medieval village look. And let's be real, your medieval pawns probably have no idea what's behind the next mountain, or even less on the other side of the world. With RimWorld Exploration mode, you can introduce some mystery to the whole planet, adding a fog of war effect to the whole world, so you'll actually have to explore it bit by bit to find friendly towns to trade with or pirate nests to raid. Or you can find maps that reveal unknown locations and recruit new colonists that might have knowledge of what lies over the river. Now, if you take a look at all of these mods, you'll see there's a ton of new research to complete. And let's be real, a colonist just staring at a research bench isn't the most exciting thing. So why not also spruce up that part of the game with Research Reinvented? You'll be able to reverse engineer items, analyze raw materials, experiment with new pieces, and construct prototypes that might not be the best, but maybe if you ask your allies to provide some of their knowledge, you'll finally get that proper mortar built. It definitely adds complexity, but in a cool and rewarding way. And you know what else is cool and rewarding? Those bonus mods I promised you at the start. If you're not afraid of the dark, then check out Realistic Darkness, which really goes well with Human Leather Floor mod. Or if you want more crazy, high-tech content, then take a look at Rimforge and blast your enemies with guns the size of a house. Naturally, you'll need loads of resources for that, and Project Rim Factory Revived perfectly covers that part with its automated mining, crafting, and farming tech. And of course, last but not the least, I wanted to say thank you to my channel members and Patreon supporters.